Wow, what a song. Be careful if you're bumping that too hard in the Camry as you roll down Aurora. What's up? Welcome to the All Day Podcast. I'm Brett. That's Lofa. Lofa, preseason game 1. It just wrapped up about an hour ago. What are your thoughts? Come on, let's just jump right into it.
I got so many thoughts, but if I could put it in one word, incredible. It was so smooth of a debut for McDonald and his crew that everybody doubted. Everybody said, well, some of these coaches, Grubb, they haven't coached in the NFL, and some of you got them from everywhere, and they got them late. They didn't have enough time to, evaluate their draft properly. It was incredible, man. Yeah, man, unbelievable. What about you, brother?
I mean, let's see. I like the word smooth. That was a good one from you. I don't know.
Speechless. Speechless in Seattle. Look at you.
There you go. That's it. Let's roll with that. Speechless in Seattle. That should be the title of the episode. I mean, it could not have gone better for the new coaching staff, for what an identity we all see right off the bat. I mean, where to even really begin with this thing? Like, I mean, how about this? It was also Jim Harbaugh's debut.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the storylines, so, coach versus or mentee versus mentor, and then, son on special teams, right? Versus dad. Yeah. We didn't even get into that, right?
Dude, I'm just saying, going back in the day, right? Seahawks, Niners, Harbaugh, whatever, UW, Stanford, the khakis, the tucked in polo to the khakis, whatever, the whole thing. Dude, it was his debut too. And whoa, I mean, wow. I'd much rather be a Seahawk fan. I'm so much happier being a Seahawk fan, right?
Well, and Brett, and from the years that we've been doing our pod together, right? And we're grateful to join this platform. I've never put any stock into preseason. You know me. I'm just like, OTAs, minicamp. No, when the pads come on, but even that, just there you go. Look, we got graphics now. 16-3. How you like them apples?
Oh yeah, the show is becoming very, very professional. I'm so glad that the family will be here for the glow up, and we should really quickly just shout out the All Day fam that is logging on right now, joining the live stream. What's up to all of you guys? The All Day fam is growing by leaps and bounds already in the preseason, and we've got all you guys to thank for that. So thanks for jumping on board. The brand new Instagram is @AllDayFamily. All spelled out. Last week we were saying All Day Fam, but it's All Day Family. Join the Instagram, push the follow button, join everything that this crew is doing, and make sure that you're subscribing, of course, here on YouTube. But Lofa, 16-3, Seahawks over Chargers. I think that we should start with the defense. Both of us are a bit speechless, but let's tune in on this thing here. Let's start with the defense. What did you see?
Yeah, 16-3. There was a whole lot of 3 and outs. It was unbelievable, dude. Like there's so many points I have to make about the whole team collectively because all 3 phases were so sharp. But we'll start on defense, and we had opportunities for like 2 or 3 more turnovers. That's the crazy part, holding them to 3 points. And we show my man Dodson had a big hit out the gates. I told you guys, get excited because this is a guy that came from Buffalo. He got his first real playing time towards, probably the last half of that season and balled out. Can run, can hit, can, defend the pass, rush the passer. He does it all. And those are the kinds of guys that McDonald loves. So he made a great read. Even on this first play, I think I texted you in the group. I was like, did you guys see Dodson? He flashed down to get the guard off of the double team and then shot the gap and got in on the tackle. And it doesn't go down in stats, right? Like it's an assist maybe, but it was just unbelievable. Woolen had an interception go through his hands, but to see his speed and go for it, like he looks fully healthy, which he was not last year. I know he took a lot of heat. He was not healthy last year. He fought through it. So just to speak on those 2 in particular, I'm trying to think who else. Kobe Bryant, right? Getting real meaningful time at safety. And his interception came in part by a new addition, Kayvon Wallace. That hit, unbelievable. That caused it, right?
Well, okay, so I'm over the moon about the defense. I want to just say real quick because I had your video stuttered for a second and mine did, and you're traveling, I'm traveling. We're both in undisclosed mystery locations. If you guys want to guess where we are, we could have a little where in the world are these guys? But we're both enjoying our sort of final summer breaks. So if it lags, it will catch up. Defensively, dude, for me, you said a bunch of names there that we should be touching on and deserve a bunch of credit. How about the Rook? How about number 91 in the middle? I mean, Seahawk fans have been waiting all offseason, or at least since the draft, right, to unwrap this present, this gift that we've been given. And this felt like Christmas morning, and every birthday all rolled into one. He was just wrecking people out there. I mean, he's getting the push. He's causing those high throws already just in the preseason. What did you see from Byron Murphy? I saw a lot to love.
The guy never should have been there for us to draft. That's how special he is. Instincts, tenacity, just relentless. And Michael Bennett said it on the live cast, violent. Like, he just plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. And this is crazy because he's a Rook, right? Like, he didn't have much time, right? He's right into it. And so I can't wait. Sky's the limit for this guy. But, man, speed, instincts, the ability to get off the ball, that is a big thing. And, like, he was firing off the ball. And there's, we'll have the graphic. I think Mike will pull it up. Splitting a double team, helmet gets knocked off. It didn't stop him. Right?
Oh, are you calling on Money Mike?
I'm calling on. Look at Big Mike. Look at how quick he got that up there.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Look at this professional show on episode 2 already.
Commanding a double team, ripping through them. These are two 300-pound men that have no chance. And he got a pressure on this play. And I think the series before, this was the second series he was in. The first series, he had that big tackle for loss where he ripped through the guard and then smoked the running back. He's a special talent. And I'm just grateful he's here.
Yeah, totally. As you guys are listening to us talk ball and set this whole thing up there, make sure you're filling in the chat with your questions. You guys can always drop a few dollars in, which of course pushes you to the top. And we'll get to your questions in a bit here. We're chatting defense because the defense, I mean, for me, the defense was just the star of this show. We've been salivating over what this defense is going to be. Mike McDonald is a defensive coach coming from the Ravens. So, I mean, all eyes on the defense. I have some stuff here, Lofa. Let's see. The defense, the 3 and outs and the getting off the field on third down, right? I mean, that was a huge thing last year. We could never get off the field. And I know that it's preseason. I know the Chargers didn't have all their number ones out there and all that stuff. But what we saw tonight was just exciting, and I hope is just what we'll be seeing in the future.
Yeah, partner, we didn't have our number ones out there either. There was a lot of guys in baseball caps just cheering on and happy for their boys. But just incredible that you could have that kind of dominant performance, right? As a first-year coach. So this is where I'm going to give the coaching, right? And because all the storylines, and I'm sure we'll get into, the Seahawks, same old Seahawks, right? Fighting every day in camp, right? Because we'll get to that. But that was all that's all that's gone around. That's all that's gone around, right? Yeah. And then you see them just extremely disciplined. I mean, that for the decade of dominance that we had with Pete, discipline was a tough thing when it came down, and it was a factor in terms of penalties, yards, given up. We had one penalty, a holding on Noah Brown, I believe, in the first half that it was real ticky-tack, right? And I didn't – whatever. Either way, it was one penalty in the first half, a couple late, but the game was pretty much out of hand at that point. But so, the discipline is really what I keep coming back to, how I was impressed, because these are guys that are not necessarily all of them that the guys you're counting on to play start. And so for them to have – this kind of discipline, I just can't imagine when the starters get in what kind of operation. It's probably rolling even smoother.
How about the D line? I mean, just specifically, we talked about Byron Murphy, but how about Mike Morris even dropping back in coverage and batting down a ball? They're just
Big Mike,
filthy up front.
freak
Athletic,
athlete. Yeah. Well,
fast.
and this is what we spoke to, the depth. Like every great team, they have depth in the trenches, offense and defense. And today, I think we showed that, right? With a number of guys not going. I know it's preseason, and I've been waiting for football. We've all been waiting for football for so long, but to see a debut like this, it just makes you wanting more. Like, I can't wait for the next game.
Okay, well, we're still talking defense just for a second, but linebackers, what'd you see? Who'd you like? A lot to like out there, but from you, what's up?
Yeah. Everybody looked great. And like, it's wild to say that, right? From all three levels, just competing like we've always done. But I didn't see hardly any missed tackles. That is very rare for a first preseason game.
The tackling,
so awesome. that tells me the teaching is on point. No missed, or blown assignments. I think if I'm going to nitpick here because, I see everything, I watch everything. When Easton Stick threw into coverage on the left side against Reek, broke it up. The flat was open on the backside, which would have been a first down. I don't think it would have been more than a first down, though. That's what's wild, right? So it's like, even though they would have got the first down, it would have been stopped a yard after the first down. There's just nobody out of position, which speaks to the discipline and everybody just buying into like, this is my area to protect. I'm going to do everything I can to do it. And so, but the linebackers, Knight looked great. His tackle on one of the screens, going for the ball. Like, this is what playmakers do. And I told you from day one, he's a playmaker. And a lot of people were questioning this pick, right? No, the kid's proved at every level. I told you he went through hell, right? Junior college or community college, UTEP, everywhere he went, he proved himself. He's going to prove himself here again too. But yeah, man, thoroughly impressed. Dodson, just the way he moved, like a guy that big, that fat, he's smooth. Like,
how about Radigan?
Radigan looked awesome.
He's all over the field.
I was hoping he kept that guy in the end zone for the safety.
Oh, it's close. It was close.
And I know we're on defense, but part of defense is special teams and the punt. Michael Dixon, shout out, pinned him at the 2. I think that was D. Williams. It was Brady Russell. I don't know if he tipped it back, but he was on the scene, first on the scene. That guy is just a fireball of energy. But we'll get to offense. It was a collective team. I have so much good to say about one preseason game. I know. I don't know where to stop. It was unbelievable effort on all parts. Linebackers look great. Radigan, love him. Even on a toss where they push it all the way out to the sideline, he got there and made the guy bubble, and then it was a 1-yard gain. On a toss, there was nowhere to go for that. There's usually 3 or 4 alleys on a toss for the running backs. Like, okay, I got them here. Nothing.
You win a lot of games if the other team doesn't score. I can't wait. Defense is back, baby. Defense. I heard
it wins championships.
It does. I've heard that before too. I mean, dude, let's go to the offense. Let's go to the offense here, the other side of the ball, because it was preseason for everybody, especially at the beginning of the game. But then they really found their rhythm. Some great first down conversions. Sam Howell using his legs, great, ripping it to JSN. They really got it moving. And the running game, the O-line pushing people around, and the running game. So here we go, Lofa. We're talking strong defense and we're talking strong running game. Sign me up.
I mean, that's a recipe for deep playoff runs and potential championships. Like, that's what the great teams do. So, if I had to start, Sam Howell.
Okay.
Hallelujah is a phrase I would like to use, because this is a guy that took so much shit all off season. Oh, he looks terrible. Even in practices that we went to 2 practices a couple weeks ago, 1 week ago. And he looked unsure of himself, throws were off, some overthrown, some underthrown, and he didn't have a perfect day, but that's a hell of a stat line. 16, 23, a touchdown, and no interceptions. He had 4 throwaways that, Sam Howell a year ago would have forced because he's a dog. He's got that dog in him. And that's why you love him. But it's tough, right? If things aren't going right, he feels like he has to force things. Man, he played the game he needed to play. And so incredibly impressed by Sam Howell. The one he stood in there, he threw to Derek Young across, on the deep over, and Derek Young, wow. Dude, there's so many guys.
The long one. The early long one.
He did. He got it, but I mean that's the arm talent he has, right?
Just missed him. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there was a skinny post. Bobo ran the corner off and then came back. Corner made a great play. I'll give the corner credit, but Bobo was waiting on that ball. That was the only, like, when Sam watches the film tomorrow, he's gonna be like, man, as Bobo pushed the guy out towards out of bounds, and as Bobo takes that step, if I release it with Sam's, arm talent, but he believed he had the arm talent to get it in there. The other guy just caught up in time and broke it up. It was right around the 45 on, plus territory going in to score. It was crucial, but he picked up some third downs with his legs. It was a very smart approach, in terms of, like, look, my defense is shutting these guys down. Don't give them any opportunities. Don't give the other team any opportunities. And I don't think he had that, in Washington, to be fair to him. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. JSN, just doing JSN things, getting up when he needs to, catching
first
ball
rounder.
possessions.
He's a first rounder for a reason. Yeah, he looked great. Looked smooth, crisp.
Look great.
Running
backs though, and O-line and the running game, because a running game and a defense, like we just said. So all the running backs that played looked great. Charbonnet was doing Charbonnet stuff, but McIntosh, especially early, is who I wrote down. He just jumped off the screen. I mean, he looked quick. He looked powerful. He's running over people. And, he wasn't able to play a lot last year. I don't think he was really all that healthy, probably.
No.
But 2.5 looks good.
Yeah. He very decisive. And with that speed, he gained ground. He just took what they were giving him. And then he showed some real power, which I didn't know he had that in his game. You saw him on one of the early passes. You saw the speed, and then he's got a different mentality than I saw him leaving college. And then also even last year in the limited time I got to see him, he's hungry, and, that's awesome to see. But yeah, he had 2 first downs in the first series he went out. And then he got a nice 3 or 4 yard gain, and then he came back with the holding penalty. But yeah, he's a dog.
How about Helani? Quick burst off the edge, and he's been having a great camp by all reports.
Not even quick burst, but when they slowed it down and they gave the end zone, like, kind of, you get a glimpse as a fan of what it's like to run the ball. And he's like, oh, A gap's gone, B gap's gone, C gap's canceled. He bounced it all the way around and then had the speed, not just to get the corner, but turn it upfield. And the other play, if we get that ball, I think it might have been Howell. If we get that ball to him earlier when he went to the flats and he almost lost out of bounds, as soon as the defender turns his head, you got to throw that ball as a quarterback. And look, okay, yeah, I was only a high school quarterback, so this is not me trying to coach Howell to tell him, like, oh, dude, you messed up. All right, let's get serious here. Let's be honest. But
I only played a high school quarterback on TV, so you're one step ahead of me.
Hey, so we played high school quarterbacks, right? So all I'm saying is, like, Howell's going to look at the Bobo throw, the corner post, and he's going to look at that throw, and he's going to be like, man, I could have had another 30 yards, and then I could have had another touchdown. I'm just telling you the competitor mindset that I guarantee you Howell has. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. But running backs is what we're talking about.
Yeah. And Holani looked great.
I'm just kidding.
And then is it Kobe Lewis? See, this is where my internet connection was cutting out. But 44 is a hoss. That dude.
You want to give the people a clue as to where in the world is Lofa? They could try to
I don't-
guess.
I don't even know where I am. All right. So yeah, like
Somewhere with shoddy internet.
yeah, I'm in the woods, people.
I'm in a beautifully picturesque mountain town. Look at the mountain silhouetted behind me. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way. Yes. Look at that. Okay. Let's see where are we going from here. Let's get back on track here. Running back, we talked about that. Coaching,
what do you?
offense, Mike McDonald. Okay, so from you, man, while you're watching, defensive scheme, that's the big conversation for everybody. What are you seeing scheme-wise? We'll start with defense, then we'll go to offense because we got the new OC with Ryan Grubb bow down to Washington. But
So
what do you see from
defense?
the defensive scheme-wise from McDonald?
A whole lot
regime?
of ass kicking. So write that down in schemes. Because
Okay,
I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you what, people. Yeah, jot that down, right? You can't scheme your way to a championship. You need savages, all right? And we got them at every level. D-line, linebackers, secondary. It's an embarrassment of riches. And I really just believe that what McDonald's doing is applying discipline to it. Rules, standards, and I mean effort. Effort's not you know, that's not even a question. That's not something.
What did you see though, like quite literally as you're watching the game? I mean, just me as a fan, I mean, I'm not, between the old defense, the new defense, is there, what are they doing that is different so far? I mean, it's just preseason, so maybe they're not showing everything, but
no, that's the beauty of it. They're just straight up man to man beating the shit out of people.
Okay.
So no, I'm not. See, no,
put that in a playbook.
Oh my god!
Like that's all the playbook should say. They open it says beat the shit out of someone. All right, close the playbook.
Number one requirement should be beat the shit out of your opponent. All right.
I love it.
Captain Insano shows no mercy. But what I will say is the discipline of just, hey, accountable to, okay, this is my gap. This is like my responsibility. There was nobody out of position. There was nobody wide ass open in man or zone coverage. And we mixed, we had a good mixture of both. What I saw was just guys that believe in the chemistry. The chemistry is like, for chemistry to build in the second and third level of your depth, that is a very beautiful sign of awesome coaching. That's all I'm going to say in terms of like that. You're getting kids that have just gotten there from college and you're throwing a playbook at them that is massive. So Brett, so you're an actor. Say I bring you in, I'm the director and I'm like, hey, no, I wrote this part for you. Here's the script. You got half of the lines. So this much, I need you to recite that in 2 months. Like, go ahead. Like, and give me your best performance. Yeah. That's what's at stake here. And these guys are delivering, and it's only one game. It's a very small sample size. And so, good or bad, I've always been reluctant to have judgment, but like, I'm just very optimistic off of what I just saw. Like, it was a thing. It was a thing of beauty.
You know why? For me too, and you guys are doing a great job filling up the chat. We're going to get to your questions coming up very quickly. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you push the subscribe, push the comment. Lofa, identity. Whatever that means to you, whatever that means to the fans, it's like a buzzword everyone wants to use. What's the identity? But we talked about it last year. It was a little flat at times. This preseason game, they're knocking people around. And like you touched on earlier, the tackling. So many missed tackles for whatever reason, maybe last year. This year, no. And that's what I like to see is just them going as hard at what they're doing as I go as hard being a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, I know I'm coming off as a fanboy of McDonald and the crew.
It's okay.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, could not be more impressed that this shortly, usually you give a coach, a brand new coach, like even if he's coached before, you give him a grace period, right? There's like, all right, it might be a tough year. These aren't the guys he necessarily wanted. There's so many, and like, I don't want to say excuses, but I'm just telling you from what I hear from McDonald's interviews, those would be excuses. McDonald just believes he knows how to best implement every player's strengths, right? And help them with their weaknesses. I think we're looking at a special coach here, is what I'm saying. And down the road, like we'll come back and visit this, but I'm a believer in Mike McDonald. And
me too.
Yeah.
Well, also Ryan Grubb. How about Grubb? How about the offense? Brand new offense, new offensive coordinator, guy coming in from college, all of that stuff. I mean, I want to talk about the offensive scheme, but hold that thought, because I got to do my job. I want to tell you guys about our partner, Simply Seattle. I'm rocking a Simply Seattle sweatshirt tonight. Upper left, USA. That's not a clue as to where I am. Lofa's got the Sean Kemp he's rocking. You guys know that Simply Seattle is the biggest Sonic store in the world. SimplySeattle.com. Lofa, Ryan Grubb, the new offense. Third down conversions. Is that something you're interested in? Because that was a struggle.
11 of 19. In one game, you usually get close to 10 if you're having a decent game, right? He had 19 opportunities. So he's creating opportunities. And there would have been more, but there was some where he got first down, second down, first down. Like consistent movement of the ball. And I'm like, okay, 16 points with all the yards and everything. The touchdowns, they're going to, even those field goals, but just getting the more shots you put up, right? Like taking it to basketball terms, right? It's going to go in. And like, it was, I have no, worries or doubts about what he can do.
Well, they left points out there. I mean, there was the goal line. I mean, maybe they're going for it to just, it's preseason and they're establishing something. But I mean,
I think this goes back to mentality and identity that you're talking about. Like, hey, like if we have the chance to put you out, we're going to do it. We're going to take it. I don't think this is a preseason thing, Brett. I think this is a mentality identity thing. So,
I love this. No, keep going with that. Yes, good.
No, yeah. And I've never met McDonald, right? I've been over there a couple times. I still haven't met him, right? But everything I gathered just from watching him in interviews, he's very calculated and in a great way. Just like you're going to get what I give you, right? But in terms of when he's on the field as a coach, I'm going to take everything from you. Like that's the beauty of it. And I saw it. Like that wasn't a meaningless, like, oh, let's just, what's the point, right? I take it back even to like strategy. Like what's the point in going for a field goal? We should have a high percentage chance of making with the Pro Bowl kicker. Like, let's see what our young bucks are made of. So he's trying to tap into the mindset of like, I'm going to look at this film and I'm going to watch every single one of these guys and see who believed, who went all out. Because I'm telling you, everything, and this goes back even to when I was with Pete, everything is reviewed. How you treat people, how you go about your business, how you take care of yourself. All of it is reviewed. It doesn't have to be said. It's an observation that everybody in the facility takes into account.
Who was your MVP of this preseason game?
MVP?
Give me one name, just for fun.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Let me think, because I take in everything into account. So you tell me yours. Who'd you have?
I'll just take Byron Murphy. Why not? I'm in love with him.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 great plays, but it only takes 2 or 3 great plays a game to make an impact. So I see where you're coming from on that one. I'm trying to look at who put themselves in the best position down in and down out. I'll tell you what, this is a guy that we didn't talk about during offense that I should have. This is shame on me. Brady Russell.
There you go.
Russell Mania. This fucking guy. I'm telling you. So that I know it looked like a little easy 5-yard route, 15 total yards or 14 total yards touchdown. The wherewithal, instincts, and spatial awareness to break out, catch the ball from the guy. He caught it and he looked and he pivoted back upfield and went around. So that spatial awareness, it's fractions of an inch to, game of inches that they say. That guy missed, touchdown. And this kid's special. I don't, again, it's only one preseason game, and I've never really said this about a guy. So I'm going out on a limb here, folks. I don't see this guy not making our team. Wow. And as stacked as we are.
But
right?
There's a lot of guys. Yeah, I was going to say that room is full.
Yeah, the newest, Noah Fant, who's a stud. Then we Barner, we drafted. The room is flooded.
Westover.
Westover.
You can't keep them all, though, but you cannot keep them all. You got to pick one. But the guy, he's got the flow, too. I'd keep him just for the hair.
Oh, I mean, the swag is on a million. I didn't even get there. Didn't even have to get there. That's how good he is. He's just a special guy. And he's one down there on the first punt, right? He was the first one on the scene.
Yeah.
6'3", 250, can move, and he's graceful like that. That's why I was like, dude, if I was that size, a middle linebacker, what? I'm not saying I wouldn't have got hurt because I was reckless, but I, probably would have played a little longer.
I'm sure you guys are just as excited as we are, and I think we should start getting to some of your questions out there. You guys can load the chat. If you want yours to go to the top, you guys know how to do that. Let me remind you to follow us on our social media. It's at All Day Family on Instagram. We're working on getting a Twitter going, even though it's not called Twitter, but everyone calls it Twitter. So, Lofa and I are on Twitter. You can find Lofa on Twitter at Lofa_Tatupu. I'm at BDav everywhere because I gave myself a nickname when social media was new, and I can't get rid of it.
Did you say Bedazzled?
That's what they used to call me.
All right, get to the questions.
All right. If you guys got questions, you're loading them in, and Money Mike, producer Money Mike, which, by the way, Lofa, I got to tell you, our first episode, I kept referring to him as producer Mike, and one of our very loyal members of the family out there corrected me and let me know that it is Money Mike. And so from now on, it'll be Money Mike, even though I keep wanting to say Magic Mike. Careful. Watch out.
I'm going to take this one, Brett.
You take this one. Read it out there for the people.
Josiah Fanene 87. What's up, Oos? Got to be a Oos with that name. Seahawks gang tackled impeccably. Wrapped up like true Hawk tackling. Yes. Fun fact, and I love this. Look at you helping us out. All right. First missed tackle was 50 seconds left in the second. In the 3 second? The 3 second quarter?
3 second quarter.
The 2 minute? Was it the 2 minute drill? All right.
We'll need a clarification on this one.
We will need it. But either way, whether it was the third quarter or the second quarter, I think it was the second quarter with the 3 minutes left in the I think it's 3 minutes left in the second quarter. So exactly, Josiah, that doesn't happen. And these are not the guys we're counting on to start, right? Other than maybe Dotson, Woolen, and Spoon, and they played a series. It was unbelievable, impeccable, as my man stated. That's where it goes back to the coaching, and they're just really harping on the details. Hey, near foot, near shoulder, get body on him. The one that Dotson put on that guy, shot through the gap and smoked that dude, and then he let him know. And I love that. I love the attitude. And when we were at practice, I pointed that out. There was 2 guys I pointed out, Brett, to you, Katie, and Mike. I said, Dotson is very vocal, and he's finally getting his chance to shine, because in Buffalo, he was backing up for a little while and then finally got to play, and he balled out. He put up crazy numbers. And then Brady Russell, I was like, yo, every drill I see this guy go to, he's first one there, outrunning everybody. like these are observations of like habits like that these guys have created for themselves that are going to propel them to the next level to be leaders or one of the best on the team. But yeah, and gang tackle to point to the other part. I'm sorry, Brett, but you want to hit on this one?
No, you're fine.
There was 3 or
No,
4
I was just going to
guys.
say that I think this hits on exactly what we've been talking about for like a few seasons now, not just with the Seahawks, but I think almost across the league. Just sort of the mood, the physicality, the sort of energy, I don't know, or lack thereof. But tonight, and by the way, across a lot of preseason games, I've had them on in the background. Football is back, baby. It's so back. From the Giants and the Lions, what was going on in their practices to what we've all seen going on in the Seahawks practices. Maybe you said we hit on it later. I mean,
no, but
the intensity is there.
To Josiah's point, though, if one guy missed, 2 or 3 others were there to kill the guy.
Well, that's what we weren't seeing in years past, not just from this team, but from all kinds of teams. And it's back, dude.
It's very bad. But it all goes back to the teaching, right? To the coaching. So I can't put enough praise. These players, yes, obviously they deserve praise for going out there and doing it. But Josiah, man, great question or observation. Not even a question, man. You thank you.
He also clarifies. He clarifies in the chat. 50 seconds left in the second quarter. But either way, what a great stat.
But that was when. And yeah, you're right. Josiah, that's when they went hurry up offense. And so, Brett, this is what you were asking. Like, what did you see? And like, why was it so hard out there? Schematically, you couldn't run, you couldn't pass. What the hell else are you supposed to do? So what they did, they changed the tempo. So Josiah, thank you for bringing this up again. They changed the tempo. They went no huddle on us, right? And it didn't get us off guard because after one first down, Easton Stick, he ran for one, and then the second one, I don't know if he completed a pass, but we weren't out of position. That was probably where the missed tackle came in. But it was like we shut him down. We stopped him either way, like shortly after. And we even blitzed. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like, do you know how hard it is with the starters to get a blitz in 2 minutes?
No, none of us know how hard it is. You have to tell us how hard it is. We don't know how hard it is.
Mike McDonald successfully – I think this is the one where Mike Morris deflected the pass or broke it up. He successfully sent in a blitz in a 2-minute drill with his 2s and 3s. Like, my mind's blown.
When have you ever seen that?
Shit, today is the first time I've ever fucking seen that. Hot take. Hawks will be running back by committee, like the Ravens. With the addition of healthy McIntosh, he rushed about 40 yards, 8 carries. Oh, Fanene on fire.
I was going to ask you, so 40 yards on 8 carries, is that something you're interested in? And we were already hitting on McIntosh, but let's just keep giving him his flowers.
I mean, shit, it sounds like 5 a carry. I'm no mathematician, but.
I was going to ask you. I was going to make it. That was quick. Yeah.
Right.
Our guy got a high score on the Wonderlic, everybody. He loves to flex that. But yes, dude. Okay. Yes, McIntosh was on fire. My ring light turned off.
All right, we gotta get to the next question. But Fanene, hit me up, bro. We're gonna talk football, man. You know your shit.
There you go. Next question. You take it,
brother. You want me to get it?
Oh, sorry, I was just turning my ring light on.
Yeah, you just worried about your looks. You want me to take a question? You got it.
All right. We need to ask Coach Jim Harbaugh. How does it feel to beat by not only the Seahawks / Coach Mike, but also your son, Lofa? TY for Rockin' Sonics, by the way. Thank you for Rockin' Sonics. My lighting is out. My light.
Fuck your light, man. Get to the question, man. Elena,
go for it.
I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but
how about the family rivalry?
Yeah, it probably, it's got to be tough, right? When I'm trying to think, did we play Atlanta? Was I coaching? I was with the Hawks, and we played Atlanta in the playoffs, 2016. and Dan Quinn and the Falcons beat us in Atlanta. And I'm sure that had to be tough, right? But we do have to ask Harbaugh, right, how it feels. But I think Pete, Jim, they would both say, hey, well, I'm proud, right? I didn't help. These guys ultimately helped me. That's what a good leader would say, is that these guys made me the head coach that I am. Because even as great a head coach you are, like, you better be the best delegator of, skill, operation. You better know the guys that can put your vision and your words and message into reality. So, but on the comical side, I bet they'd say it sucks. Elena, I appreciate you.
That's a good answer. I like that one. Next question. Let's keep it going here. Hot take. Bryant is going to compete all season to be a starter. He is everywhere, contest all passes. This one's from Josiah again, by the way. Shout out Josiah. He is filling up the chat tonight. All passes, has soft hands. He is a hitter. If any starters slack, i.e. Reek Woolen, Kobe will take his spot and won't look back. He almost had 2 picks within the first 5 defensive drives, maybe 4. It was that second one was real close.
First three series, yeah. You're right. Maybe it was 4 or 5, yeah. But
he stood out at practice as well while we were there. I mean, I took note of him right away. He was making a lot of plays and running around and flashing everywhere.
Yeah. Well, Josiah, again, how does Josiah not have his own show? You're definitely going to be a guest on this show, because the points you're raising, yeah. Bryant is a phenomenal talent. I think the injuries have plagued his progression, is all I would say. There was a big role designed for him last year and or even 2 years ago, and then injuries set in, right? I know all about injuries. Those things suck. But he's a great hitter. He's fearless, and he goes for it, just like you're saying. I don't think Reek has anything to be worried about. Yes, there's always competition. If you're worried for your job, you're probably not the right man for the job. That's all I'm going to say. That's how I felt. Even when I got replaced by KJ, of all things, my dog KJ, right? It's just, a real competitor doesn't put that in their mindset, right? And so I never had that worry, and I don't think Reek does either. He went through some injuries that, yeah, they were on the depth chart or they were on the injury report, but he wasn't himself. He didn't get, and this is something, Josiah, that I've mentioned on Take 12, my old me and Brett and I's old podcast, is that when you're in rehab and everybody else is preparing every day to get bigger, faster, stronger, and you're just trying to get back to 100% of what you were last year, well, every year everybody's getting better. So you know how difficult. No excuses. I'm just trying to, explain how difficult it is to stay in this game, for any amount of years. Never mind the average. It was 3.4, right? I don't know. It might have even gone down since then. So we'll get the stat check on that. But no, I respect your opinion. Kids are bees.
Reek almost had 2 picks tonight himself.
Absolutely. So, and then broke up another 2. So
I think the big point is that we are loaded, man. The depth on this team really showed out tonight. I mean, in a preseason game where, like you said, a lot of guys were wearing baseball hats, the depth was out there and the depth was performing big time. Oh, I would say McDonald's debut here, Harbaugh's debut. What about Harbaugh's debut with the Chargers? You want to touch on that for a second?
I mean, I can't even really name, other than Tui Pelotu, shut up, Trojans. I can't even really name any other starters they played. I'm trying to think. And I'm sure someone will chime in the comment. Oh, Lofa doesn't know football. They played 3 starters. Hey, cool. Let me know. Enlighten me. But I wasn't under the impression that they really played anybody that they're going to use. So, but where I was more impressed by his protege, McDonald, was that the guys, if it's all a bunch of guys that we're not really going to play, because this was as thorough of an ass kicking that I've seen, right? With guys that are second, third, and some not even going to make the team.
Yeah.
I could say this, that should give a lot of guys on this team peace of mind. If you don't make this team, if you keep playing the way you're playing, you're going to make somebody else's team. And shit, you might even start with what you showed tonight. Wow. Unbelievably impressed.
Let me remind you guys, push subscribe here, recommend the show to your friends, and make sure you're sending it out there, sending a comment to us. We love you guys filling up the chat. Here's our guy Josiah again. All night, Josiah filling it up. He's the MVP of the night for the pod for sure. Murphy's going to be a problem. He's explosive. He's violent. He'll kill you with finesse and or power. We've been missing a DT that can constantly push the pocket. Reed, Williams, Murphy pushing the pocket. DEs are going to eat this year. Yeah, I mean, there was the interception, the first interception for Kobe. I'm pretty sure it was Murphy pushing a guy right into his face. And then a little bit later, it was a high throw that got deflected. Again, Murphy pushing him right back into him. He's not getting home, but he's riding that O lineman right back into the quarterback. And I mean, I found myself just looking in the middle of the line and watching him every time he was out there taking a snap, because he's that electric. And obviously I wanted to see what he had, but he looked amazing. There's no question here, Lofa, but maybe we just keep talking about Byron Murphy and how excited we are for this game.
No, but I mean, Josiah on point as usual, right? The combination of freak athleticism, right? 6 feet, 305, 4'8", 540. He ran the same fucking 40 time that I did, and I was 240 pounds. All right. I was 60 pounds lighter. Yes, this was a lot, much long ago when athletes were not as good. Right. But just the instincts, the awareness. I've seen him shift alignment like Michael Bennett. I've seen him get off on the snap like Brandon Meebang. I've seen him use his hands. I'm trying to think of a D lineman that used their hands as well as him. I would have to go to other teams, and I'm trying to keep it in Seattle. I would say Bobby Wagner was probably the best I saw using their hands to stay off blocks, get off blocks, and still stay alive. He's got the combination of all three of these players. All right. Now, I mean, that's very high praise. And, even though he was 16th overall, I don't want to put those kind of expectations on him, but they're kind of already placed with where he's taken. He's going to be a very special player. And then you mix in, you got Jay Reed, right? You got Leonard Williams. You got Chenna. You got Mafe. You got Nuosu. I said Chenna. You got Hall, who shined today. Embarrassment of riches is what I come back to before. I don't know if McDonald had this kind of talent in Baltimore at the front. Justin Madubuike. All right. Now that's a freak. And this is a guy that we could probably stature-wise, speed and everything compare him, but Murphy's already further along in terms of athleticism and understanding of the game than Madubuike, who was a third-round pick 3 years ago, just got paid, one of the highest paid D tackles. Other than that, he had Van Noy, he had Clowney, he had several veterans that they understood rules of the game. So, but freak athletes, that's what he has now. And if he can teach them just hey, this is all I need you to do. This is all I need you to do. And we're going to win. It's game over, dude. He's going to have
with Reed, defense. Hankerson, Williams.
Hankins, yeah.
Or sorry, Hankins, sorry.
Yeah.
Hankins, Williams, Mafe, Chenna, like you touched on.
Yeah, Hankins the only one I didn't mention. Then that's the biggest, baddest dude of them all.
How about, so as you guys are filling up the chat and as you guys are loading some more questions out there, I got my whole notepad here. I'm going to go to some of the things that I want to talk to you about, Loaf. I got my own questions. How about the kickoff? It was our first time seeing the kickoff and the Seahawks doing the kickoff. Was it your first time ever seeing the kickoff, or when was your first time ever seeing the kickoff? And we got to get your take on this thing.
My first time seeing the kickoff was a Hall of Fame game,
Mm-hmm.
and I fucking hate it. It's just like,
you don't like it?
No. Like, if anything, we're saving people from hamstring and groin tears from all that running of 50 yards. But it's just, I don't know. I'll say, if we're going to nitpick about tonight, we're the first team to give up a return past the 25. The first one was like,
that first one wasn't pretty.
It was like to the 50. And I was just like, okay, well, this is disheartening, if anything. But I don't know. You're getting more returns. That doesn't mean you're going to get more favorable outcomes, because everybody's like, I don't know if Devin Hester, all right, this is a guy that just put on a gold jacket a couple weeks ago. I don't know if he's going to make magic out of this bullshit.
Well, I mean, if you break that initial line, it seems like there's nothing there.
Yeah, but
to stop
okay,
you, but
see, this is the point, Brett. So the initial line, if you are a strategist or a tactician, you line guys up accordingly to their speeds. So it is one wave coming down, right? That's why generally, even though punt returns are crazy as shit, because you got those gunners and there's some that can just come down and ruin the returner for life, right? Like, he could ruin his confidence for life. And with the kickoff, they come down in waves, and then you drop back 5 yards and you set. I mean, so obviously no one's showing any real strategy right now. They're just like, oh, it's just like be vanilla and just make sure we don't give away trade secrets. But I got to believe, and I got to look further into the rules, but like off the jump, I'm not retreating. I'm sending my dogs forward. Like, yo, create waves, knock somebody out, right?
Well,
maybe it's the wrong terminology these days, but.
Well, to me, I watched these games. I mean, they're kicking it kind of short, and then everybody's making it to the 25 at least, if not the 30 or the 40, like we saw in our first one. So, I mean, and if it is a touchback, they get it at the 30. It all seems a bit negligent to me. Well, or negligible. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but even like, okay, so then we saw one where there was inclement weather, so they had to bring on a 12th fan. You know what? We're gonna petition for that. This is what All Day is gonna do. We're gonna say, hey, if you have to put a 12th person out there, it's gonna be a fan to hold the kick, and then
that'd be amazing.
And they have to have a GoPro, and it's gonna be like the Mike Vick experience from Nike back in the day, running off the field. Like, holy shit, I got to get off the field before I get killed. No, but like I had to be a long snapper or a punter, another punter, and they were holding the ball and they kicked it. But then what if he trips and then he tackles the guy that is returning? There's 12 people on the field. So there's a problem there. No.
You say there could be some gamesmanship going on?
He's going to sweep the leg. All right, Brett. He's going to sweep the leg.
You guys tell us what you thought about the new kickoff, but I'll take the other side here. After the first few of them, I didn't really notice anymore, and I'm fine with it. Seemed fine to me. I don't know. It didn't really bug me all that much, to be honest. Like, it felt like sort of a punt return, that a bit of Red Rover almost with the two lines. And
no, but Brett,
it's definitely different than we've ever seen, but I didn't mind it. As a fan, I was like,
it's dangerous ground. Where are we going with this? That's all I'm saying. Like, so if we're not valuable, if the kicker's not valuable on a kickoff, right, to kick it with so much hang time and have the understanding of his leg power to drop it at the 5, or, what they used to call with the punt, coffin corner, pin them.
Yeah.
What's the point of a kicker? So now we're just going to wait till the very end of a game and put it all on 3 points of his leg. Like, what? I just feel like they're phasing out the kicker. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I see. Well, maybe.
Okay. Would you rather see Harrison Butker kick
Are you the
a
president
field
of the
goal?
Kickers Union all of a sudden?
I'm asking. Actually, I'm on the opposite side. If you listen to the conversation, would you rather see Harrison Butker kick a field goal to win the game, or hey, Patty Mahomes has to throw this thing 50 yards for a touchdown to Kelsey or all the guys he's got to win the game? So all I'm saying is I got a bad feeling for the kickers.
You're not going to believe me, but the internet cut out right at the end.
No, I believe you.
It really did. Sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I want the high flying plays and all that kind of stuff for sure. I'm just telling you, like, I thought it was going to bug me the entire time, and then I kind of just stopped realizing. It's like the pitch clock thing with baseball. I thought I was going to hate it. I don't hate it, and I just keep watching the same game that I've always loved. I don't know. I keep going on. It's the NFL changes all the time, and it always feels like it's going to be weird right away, but then we all get used to it. So I don't know. I mean, remember when they did the crazy you could challenge the PI call and all that, and they really tried that. Like, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. But I don't think that this is that. I think this is one of those that's probably going to be here to stay, to be honest, because it's a 1-year trial on it, I think. But
yeah, sadly, it's probably here to. It's probably sadly here to stay. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, wait. Well, hold on. Sadly, though, but in the last few years, everything was just a touchback because they changed the rule anyway. So, would you rather have these returns or what we had in the years back, which was basically just a touchback every time?
Well, that was up to how volatile your risk reward or your returner is. Like,
sure.
Do you got Devin Hester? No. A lot of people. There's a reason there's only one returner wearing a gold jacket.
Yeah.
Because he didn't give a shit. If he was 109, 105, if he was deep in the end zone, he's still returning it. And I don't know. It's just like, even like when I watch these returners, I still can't believe anybody wants to just get hit like the way they've been getting hit. Like you should tempo cut. Like look, and I'm just a linebacker, but I'm just telling you what I would do is like, I'm trying not to get smoked. This is why I play linebacker. I want to hit people. I don't want to get hit.
Right.
Risk reward.
I got you. How about some other things from this week during Seahawks football? There was all of the action in practice that was not necessarily them running plays and all of that stuff, but there was action all over the league. Is this just sort of what happens at this time during training camp? Things get a bit contentious, either whether you're in a joint practice or not. I mean, the Seahawks stuff wasn't necessarily a joint practice. The Lions and Giants was a joint practice the whole time. You and I were texting about joint practices. Do you want to start with camp fights again, or do you want to talk about joint practices?
Whatever you want to talk about, man. Just ask me and I'll give you an opinion.
Do you like joint practices?
Fuck no.
Why?
Other than, you know what? If the coaches have an understanding and not a fucking pissing contest, if they have an understanding like, hey, look, this is where my emphasis is, this is where yours is, and they come together and they're just like, look, we're going to take reps off of our guys. We're going to get essentially a tiny bye week where, okay, like offense goes versus our defense, and then we'll send out our offense versus your defense. And like, so you could still have a 2-hour practice where the fans get all the bang for their buck and they see all the football they want. So there's obviously marketing and opportunity there for the NFL to have a big crowd. But then you can get good work, but then it's just where the lines get blurred is that people are fighting for jobs, right? And so if you have anyone going against anyone, in particular, if you have somebody going against somebody with a name that's established in the league, they're going to do their damnedest to either beat them or get them pissed off entice them to a fight where, okay, the guy with nothing to lose wins, right? And it's just, I just don't see any benefit in that. But if you want to get the real work in and you just want to lessen the load and the reps, because even though preseason got cut down to 3 games, I feel like 2 weeks, 1 week of camp practice, and then 2 preseason games. That's all you need. That's all you need. You know what the fuck you have. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't know what you have, you probably should not be coaching. If you don't know who could play and help you out, like, what are you doing? That's all I'm saying.
And I think the conversation about the camp scuffle sort of takes care of itself tonight after watching the game, because if they would have come out and laid an egg the way the Chargers sort of did, then we'd be saying,
great
might
point.
be a distraction. But
great point,
ahead.
Brett. You just raised a great point. So Christian Haynes, who we've seen in a lot of scuffles, there was an opportunity where the guy from the Chargers tried to really goad him into like a penalty. The guy from the Chargers, he's savvy. He's a rookie too. I looked him up. But Haynes just looked at him. He said, he just did this. And then he saw him, he smoked him a play or two later. I was just like, okay, that was impressive for a rookie to understand. I'm not going to hurt the team. And yes, I have fought in team practices, but he's received the message. He understands the importance of not going there. It just, I mean, mentality, emotionally, he's composed. Like that's what you want. Unwavering.
Well, and I'd say, like, whatever we saw this week during practice, look what happened in the game. Sign me up. Fine by me. It's intensity. There's some fire there. I mean, as long as it doesn't get out of control and spill over. And by the way, Coach talked about it at press conferences. Players have spoken on it. You know, it's one of those things that they feel like just sort of happens, and it, you know, they get some intensity out of it. And look at what we saw.
Hold up, Brett. Give me some fucking gossip. You over here asking me to spill all the fucking tea. Like,
what?
Give me some movie set shit, man. Like, there got to be some fights on the movie set.
Oh, no. I've never seen anybody get upset over a room temperature water, or, you know, well, there was, okay. Well, I'm always,
no one flubbed the line. No one flubbed the line. No one missed the mark.
No, I've never seen anyone get upset over a flubbed line, but there are, it's not the same stories you usually hear, or that you think you hear about, like I said, like a ice cold water or something like that. It's more just about people's time and energy and whether they got called in, whether they needed to work or not. Like Lofa, like sometimes you have one line, but you're there for 12 hours. So people's nerves get rubbed a bit raw and they want to go home. And so I've seen people get upset. I've seen people leave without telling anyone.
Well, that's a weird moment. Hey, I will come back.
The director's like, "Hey, bring them in," and they're like, "They're not here anymore.
They're gone." Hey,
spent 10 hours. Yeah,
they had one job, and they didn't even show up for it. That's all I'm saying.
Time to go.
I think Mike got a question. What we got? Oh, I feel bad saying it wrong. Is it Alina or Elena?
Well, now she's saying Alina, I think, with the 2 E's. Pronounced Alina. Yeah.
Alina.
And she's just saying, and thank you, Alina, for dropping the question and the comment here in the chat. She is just saying it would be funny if Harbaugh had a tantrum. She's into the entertainment like I am, Lofa. She's into the comedy and all the parts of the game that I love. Since he was also beat by a former Husky coach who he beat last year. That's true. National title game implications on the line. Do you think kickers need to learn to tackle in a new setup? Oh, so we're talking new kickoff too. Take any part of that one, Lofa, the Harbaugh stuff or the kickoff and the kickers tackling.
I'll let you talk the Harbaugh stuff because you're a big Husky fan.
Okay.
The kickers need to learn to well, if they're a football player and not just a kicker, they should always be ready to tackle. But I was actually proud of Myers today. The one that broke, he made the tackle and he threw it out there. Good for him.
Well, he needed to make up for the missed extra point in the preseason.
Which, I didn't want to go there. I'm all day trying to be positive, right? Well, we doing well, right? And that wasn't awesome. So tell me about the Huskies. Yeah, take the Husky talk.
Listen, I don't think that Ryan Grubb is gonna flex on Harbaugh for winning a preseason game versus losing a national championship game. However, For me, just as a Seahawk fan, with all the stuff we've been through with Harbaugh, this was just a preseason game, but it was kind of fun to have it go down the way that it did.
I'll tell you what, Alina, shout out to you, though, for giving us another in-game comparison of coaches who coached against each other or storyline. Like, man, shout out to all of you guys, all day fam. Yeah, Josiah, Alina, y'all coming with it.
Smart listeners. Smart listeners, everybody. Thanks for chiming in. Let me take this moment to remind you guys we're sponsored in part by the Delta Airlines. The Delta Airlines? Oh, boy. It's getting late into the night here, Lofa. Delta Airlines, everybody. Go to delta.com and sign up for 12 status if you're a Seahawk fan. If you live in Washington State, which I'm not currently in, there's another clue. Lofa is currently in. There's another clue. You can sign up for 12 status. You get 1 mile for every yard that the Seahawks throw for this season, no matter who throws for it. It's delta.com, proudly flying us all over the place and all around, and hopefully you guys too. Lofa, how about Connor Williams?
Before you go there, I'm going to shout out Noriko Kata. Delta flew us to Germany, all over the place. I'm going back home because of her next week. So, Noriko Kata, I love you. Appreciate you and the Delta fam. Yeah, no, we're going to stay on this one because they are true. They are, they family. All right.
Hey, so, I'm just trying to.
You don't remember going to Germany?
How could I forget going to Germany? I'm just trying to stick with what my producer wants over here. All right. That's all. Whatever. But of course, I have nothing but love for Delta. I love them. I have my notes. I'm going back to my notebook here. Connor Williams, that was a big story this week. I had a screenshot of a tweet from Schefter, but it's old news by now. Connor Williams coming in to help shore up that O-line. What were your thoughts when you saw that happen?
My thoughts immediately were it does not bode well for who we have, which it was confusing because Harris and Olu, right? Harris got real experience. Olu, in the limited experience, looked awesome. So I didn't understand it, but maybe there's a connection there where, it's an easy, start and one or both can learn from it. But I just honestly, that was very surprising to me. So that was my take on that one.
Okay. I mean, I like it as a fan. I like anything they do to try to, strengthen the team and add talent and depth anywhere. And O-line, especially at center, the Seahawks have not had the same starting center 2 years in a row for like 9 years now. It's been since Max Unger. So getting some consistency there would be good. And, Connor, this guy, he's great. He's young. He's a talent.
Unger, what a savage. But Connor's coming off injury, right? And that's why Miami didn't sign him back. So, like, I'm just – so, like I said, this plays into my thought process of not questioning, just wonderment of like, okay, I really love what I've seen out of both these guys. Everything I'm hearing about both these guys, especially Olu and his decorated college. And I know it's just college, but usually if you have success there, it translates, especially if you stay at the same position. Like, you're going to be okay. So I don't want to say baffling. I was interested into why the move. So make of that what you will. I don't know. Shit.
All right. Well, we'll keep watching that one as it unfolds then. We're just about out of time here on the All Day Podcast. Thank you all for listening, and thank you for joining the family, whether you've been here when KJ was here in years past or whether you're just joining the family. We do appreciate you guys. Go to our Instagram at All Day Family and give it a follow because we're loading that thing up with content that you can't find here on YouTube. And just a reminder, we'll be going live on YouTube after every single Seahawks game. will be going live after the day of football is over, whenever they play. So if they play on Thursday night, we'll go on after the game. If they play on a Sunday, we'll go live Sunday evening. But we will be here for you all season long, talking Seahawks, taking your questions. And we do appreciate you guys filling up the chat. I mean, the best part of this has been interacting with you guys and seeing your guys' feedback. So we really, really, really appreciate you guys be here. And thank you guys for your time and for paying attention and for hitting the subscribe button, for hitting comment, and for recommending it to your friends.
All right, Brett, if you got to go, you go. I ain't out of time shit. I'm ready to talk shit to all of you. All of you in the comments section. I see you all. Oh, y'all think I'm done? I ain't done. So, Mike, if you got time, Mike, you text me. If you got time, I got time. Today, I got time, cuz. No, Brett, get out of here. I got this. I got this.
I don't have to go anywhere. I'm simply, again, following the producer's notes here on the side, but I'll sit here all night with you if you want to.
Mike, you got to go?
No, I don't have anywhere to be. I don't have anywhere to be. What do you guys want to talk about?
No, Let's go. All right. I'm just saying. Nah,
hey, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to do the thing, you know.
No, you know what? Like, yes, I am over here on vacation with my family, but don't tell them I'm with my family right now with y'all and not them. So don't worry. They're outside. They're cooking marshmallows. They're having a good time. I'm not worried about that. I got a bottle of tequila. I'm ready to talk more football.
Nice, actually.
Alina. Well, there we go.
Alina's jumping back in. Here you go. Okay.
Oh, Norb.
You all need to reach out
love
to
Norb.
Norb.
Love Norb.
2023 Seahawks Fan of the Year.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you want, Lena. Hell yeah. I'm with that.
That's the answer.
Love Norb. Love Norb.
Some guy says it must be past Money Mike's bedtime.
Oh, Money Mike? You out?
No, Money Mike will go all night. He'll go all night if we need to.
I'll rock this shit solo. I just need to get some more ice for my tequila.
You can go for it, dude. Go for it.
All right.
Jump up.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
All right. You go for it. I love it. So on our podcast that we had done, we had never gone live before. We were always pre-recorded, and I'm here for these live moments. I love it. That's what this thing's all about. You guys keep filling up the chat. Keep filling it up with questions, so we got stuff to talk about. I got an entire notepad here for this guy. Some of the things that happened at camp this week, they let dogs at camp. I was about to ask Lofa who he thinks the biggest dog at camp has been. Also, DK traded his cleats for candy, and candy is a hot button subject for people. What's everybody's favorite candy out there? I don't know. Or if you guys got football related stuff, you guys got to fill up the chat because we talked a ton of football for the first hour that we were on here. So go back and find the video once it's uploaded and see the beginning if you joined on late. There's a comment here in the chat that has to do with quarterbacks. I'll speak slowly so that our man Lofa can grab some ice and jump back down into his chair. But it says, do you think that Sam is better than Drew Lock? Drew played for the Giants. I think he suffered an injury in the first preseason game, if I'm not mistaken. But he's off to be a Giant. I'd say just in this game alone, Sam Howell looked really good. He's moving the chains. He's using his feet. He started ripping the ball. And I'm not sure if for one game we can say he's better or not. I think I need to see more on that. But let's get the world's biggest Sonics fan, Lofa Tatupu's opinion on this.
What? Oh,
I jumped over to the comments a little bit.
No,
do you think that Sam is better than Drew Lock?
Ooh, good question. Who said that? Nolan, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Nolan.
You answer it. I'm running because it's been 2 beers.
Go ahead. Yeah, you got. Yeah, like I said, I got all night. Good question. You know, Sam had a whole season. I know Drew, in Denver, I mean, that was a real shit show. Let's get serious. Unfortunately, Drew got hurt just his first preseason game. What was it, like a hip or a oblique? Tore oblique. Not awesome. To answer your question, yes. I think Sam is more confident, sometimes too confident. But what I saw tonight was very disciplined. 4 of his incompletions was 16 of 23. 4 of them were throwaways where he made the decision, just get rid of the ball. Do not take a tackle, a sack, or a tackle for loss, or put us behind the sticks. There was real growth that I've seen from Sam, even just from another team. And just think about this. He came here, he learned a whole new scheme, a whole new terminology, whole new playbook. And I know a lot of people take that for granted. Like, we're professionals. Like, oh, for all off season, all you have to do is study and work out. Like, you should learn it. A lot of these coaches like to overcomplicate things. But from what I've seen, even as complicated as the scheme may be, Grubb, McDonald, Durday, they are great teachers, because I've heard the scheme is very complicated, but they've gotten it across to all levels, even guys that are in backup to potentially not being here. You know, unfortunately, we got 90 guys or 80, or you can only keep 53, 60 with the practice squad, something like that. But so I don't know. Mike, great question though, Nolan. Great question. Mike, bring Josiah on board. Bring him up live. He's earned it, and so has Alina. So after Josiah comes live, hardest tackle you ever made? Old school Seahawk. The hardest tackle? All right, let me think about it. I've had a lot of hard tackles. I hit Brandon Jacobs, and he's 6'2", 270, and I'm 5'11", 240, or at least I was. Not anymore. Still 5'11". Nah, I might be 5'10". But I hit him on the sideline, and it was the one time I got the best of him. He beat me 2 or 3 times that I can remember. Like, he got me. But even in that tackle that I bested him, I felt it. It was him and Fred Taylor. Holy shit, Fred Taylor. Go look up his stats on his highlight film. That guy belongs in the Hall of Fame. Freddie Savage. Fucking beast. But no, Brett, so I asked Michael, is Michael still with us? I don't know. But
I don't know.
I want to bring it.
I don't even know.
Josiah and Alina both belong up on the live. I want to see them up here before.
I don't know how to do that.
Mike, where you at, Mike? Mike. Oh, saved by elite.
That's McClure. Saved by the elite athleticism and tackling of one Jason Myers. Pro Bowl kicker to the stars.
F&A, Cotton. F&A. I mean, yeah, it was. Sadly, it was the only thing that broke past the 25 I've seen all preseason, but the kid threw it in there. I was very, very impressed with a guy that always goes to the Pro Bowl, throwing it out there. Savage.
Why do kickers always move where they want the extra point? Just pick a spot.
Okay.
Leave it there.
That's just the only thing that bothers me. Like, if you put it on the left hash, don't fucking miss left. Like, because if it was in the middle, you would have made it, right? And so if you put it on the right hash, don't fucking miss right. That is the only thing that bothers me about kickers and their hashes. They're hashist. Just saying. Mike, can we get Josiah? Lock it in.
There you go.
Love the name.
How do you balance DK's passion in productive ways? It's great to until it crosses the line and hurts the team. But that's the same passion that makes him great. Where is the line? We talked about this, Lofa, a ton, especially last season on the podcast, with penalties or, sometimes the fighting for the extra yard but dropping the ball. Just the passion that leads to either penalties or, these other things. And how do you balance that? Because you need him to play with passion. That's what you want.
I'm still trying to find balance in life. I'm not lying, and I'm not making light of it. It's a beautiful question because, when I was growing up, I had a real problem, with anger management. And I don't know if that's what we're dealing with. Like, I know DK, love him, and, always awesome, cordial. But what the common fan has to understand, and just the common person, that when you step across those lines, we're not the same person anymore, right? Like there's a switch that flips, and it's turned on very easily in terms of like, no, I know how to deal with confrontation, and it's not pretty. So I don't have an answer. I have lost my own cool several times. I've had several FedExes on Wednesday where they, find me for, what they deemed unnecessary roughness. It's just, I don't know. I don't have an answer. So lock it in. That's a great question. I don't have an answer because I didn't have an answer for myself.
It's got to be hard in the heat of the moment. I don't know how, it's got to be hard to hold back sometimes. But it is unfortunate when some of those penalties would happen and things like that. And obviously, I think going forward, we just hope it doesn't happen in those unfortunate moments.
No, let's stick with that for 1 minute. I do see the other question. Melissa, we'll get right to you. I appreciate you. The team was always first for me, right? So my unnecessary roughness penalties, whether hitting somebody late, doing some bullshit that I should not have been done, it was just frustration and anger. And like when you're in a game, that should be a factor in your mind. Like, okay, like I can't do this shit. I can't throw the football in the stands. That's how ticky-tack it was back in my day. Now you can't even look at a sideline. You can't even stare a sideline down. Oh my God.
What?
Taunting.
What?
Taunting.
Why do football players punch each other in the face when they're both wearing helmets?
Stupidest and wildest shit I've ever seen. I mean, you better.
But everybody does it. They all do it.
Not me. Nope. Never hit somebody in the face mask. I lifted the face mask and hit somebody, but I never hit someone in the face mask. No,
Okay.
this is your money makers.
Yeah.
Okay, Melissa, feelings and about playing the defensive stars early in preseason. I mean, you should know what you have. Is my feelings and thoughts about, and just like, okay, are they in shape? Are they ready to withstand, the threshold of work that they're about to be put through in a full game scenario? But you can work them in situationally, especially these days. Like back in my day, the reason it was so hard back in the day was that you didn't come off the field as a linebacker, really. Like we didn't have dime package, not until like my third or fourth year, or like even situationally, it was like, okay, prevent defense. We just got to win the game. Everybody back up. We're just going to make sure they don't throw a deep one and then come down and make the tackle. So it wasn't, but now you have to defend all. RPO, there were so many today, RPO, run pass options, where honestly, I'm going to go back to shout out to the coaches, Grubb and the line. Who's the line coach that came over from UW? Brett.
Yes, make me look it up.
Okay. No, I thought you were a Husky fan.
Sorry, I am.
But all I'm saying is we didn't get one single illegal lineman downfield on 3 passes. where I saw one very close to 5 yards downfield. It was incredible. It's incredible discipline. And so, yeah, is it Huff? It's Huff.
Huff.
Yeah. Yeah. But playing them early, like, no, Melissa, great question. We just have to make sure they're ready for the 17 plus 18th game as a wild card, right? So got to make sure they're ready for the long haul. But so I like that younger guys are getting more playing time, right? Even in the short and preseason, you know what you have with the starters. You're just hoping they don't get hurt. And God forbid they do get hurt, you need the other ones to have confidence and experience. And even if that comes through preseason, that's where it comes.
Mm-hmm. Does watching tonight change any of your predictions for the team for the season at all?
Does what?
Does watching what you saw tonight change any of your predictions that you had for the team going in, or any of your thoughts that you kind of had? I'm more excited than I was, and I was already super excited.
That's exactly where I would go with the Brett. Like, wow. If you could do this in all three phases with guys that you might not be able to retain, what are the starters going to look like? Because they have the knowledge and they understand, that's what makes them starters. Okay, yeah, there's freaks of nature like DK Metcalf. But then there's guys who I don't even know how many. This is his 10th year, Lockett. But he understands situations. He understands coverages. Like his spatial awareness of where everybody is on the field when he takes off for a route or when he has to do. It's like, dude, it's Hall of Fame, really. And yeah, I'm telling you, that guy's special. But so. No, I'm not worried about it. I'm excited. It did definitely everything I just saw tonight, the discipline. This goes back to what I told you I loved about Mike Holmgren. Mike Holmgren always taught us, you're a professional athlete. Rule number one, don't beat yourself. And I feel like there's times either when I was playing or when I was coaching or then even just watching the last few years, we beat ourselves. And that's unfortunate, right? Because it's like you have the talent, you have what it takes. Just don't lose the opportunity. Don't squander it. And we've done it. Everyone's done it. Creatures of habit, just people, right? No one's perfect. You win one game, you're riding high, and then someone beats the shit out of you, and you're just like, oh, we got to work harder. Then you beat the shit out of the next team. It's just so cyclical. It's so, it's pretty beautiful if you really think about it. Makes you work harder. Norb's on a cruise. Of course he's on a cruise. Ooh, the hit. Brett, I don't know if you hit mute on your microphone. No, still can't hear it. Oh,
you got me?
He's back.
All right. Sorry, everybody. Technically
Brett talked about this hit so many times. Brett, you tell them about the hit.
It's the biggest moment of my entire childhood. It brought me into football. It's everything. The hit. I mean, the guy picks it off and he's headed back. Well, no, it goes back to earlier in the game. Some shit between him and Largent. And then he picks it off. He's running back down and Largent just comes back and just levels the guy in a hit that you might not even be able to do these days. But also a hit that a receiver, large in size and with his demeanor, was not used to laying and leveling against people. And so this was the hit heard around the world with the Broncos in those ugly, ugly orange uniforms, those ugly orange jerseys from back in the day. But Largent laying them out. And causing a fumble. And I wish we could play it. I should pull it up.
And we will in another, live. But the beauty of it was it just shows you the dog that Largent is. Not was, that is. So he got laid the fuck out by Harden.
Yeah.
And then a game or two, maybe it was a season later when it happened, like Alina's talking about, he not only came back and dislodged the ball from Harden, he got up, looked at him like kind of, yeah, motherfucker, I told you I was going to get you. And then he had the wherewithal, and I'm just telling you with spatial awareness, I keep talking about this. He saw something rolling to the right. And if you go back and look at the film, he just snaps his eyes and was like, oh shit, that's the football. He jumps on it. So he not only forced the fumble, he recovered the fumble. And that is the real beauty of it. I bet you Steve Largent would have been a Hall of Fame fucking safety with his instincts, awareness, and just attitude. He was just savage, man. Like, fun fact, him and Lockett, both from Tulsa, both born on the same date, same birthday, and both Seahawk legends.
When was the first time you met Largent?
I don't actually remember. And then I saw him at a golf tournament that the Seahawks put on, and I went to say hi, and I don't think I know he didn't remember me. So I just was like, just gave him a high five. Right on, Steve. You're the man. He's like,
Hello,
yeah.
sir. Yeah.
Just like he was ready to walk right by. Nope. I mean, he's Steve Largent, man. He's the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
okay, Brett. Wait. There was the whole Rushmore you wanted me to say. So give me your Rushmore before I give you mine.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about this a few weeks ago because Cowherd or somebody talked about their Rushmore of Seahawks. But your all-time Rushmore of Seahawks players, or is it the whole organization? Can I get coaches?
Whatever you feel necessary.
Well, you got to put Pete on there. He's the only Super Bowl winning head coach. So I put Pete on there, especially, and not only Super Bowl winning head coach, but just, almost two. All the playoffs, all the division titles. I think he deserves to be up there. Now we're just talking about mine. So this is mine. Marshawn, put him up there. You got to put him up there. Not just for the football, not just for everything he did on the field, the B-Squake, everything that we know of him as a player, but just I love him as a person. I loved his interviews, even when he wasn't saying anything. I've always been on his side. I love his whole vibe. I like when he's funny. I like him on Conan O'Brien. So he goes up there for everything that he is. I'm going to put Matt Hasselbeck up there because love him. Love him. We want the ball. We're going to score. I'm with him in good times and in bad. I'm with him all the way through. I love him. And getting to meet him and getting to know him through knowing you and all that, he's even taken even more of a place in my Seahawks heart. And then, buddy, I'll put you on there. You're going right on there for me. In your silly looking helmet and everything, I'm going to put you up there because I'm telling you, when I was watching while you were playing, I was a fan of yours right away. And it was weird that we were the same age. I was like, how's this guy that much smarter than me? And then when we started doing a podcast, I said, who would your number one partner be? And I said, you, because of everything that you are and everything that you are as a partner. And so you'd have to go up there because if I'm going to put Marshawn up there for all of his stuff off the field, I got to put you up there for all of your stuff off the field. And I actually know you. So there you go.
Wait, I don't know. I could. Did you
the
name
captain
four
of the
or
defense?
Five?
That was four.
That was four?
Pete, Hass, and Marshawn just because he's fun.
All right.
Also, I reserve the right to change these at any point because I'm not actually chiseling anything.
No, you have changed my perspective, though, because originally mine was all our Hall of Famers, right?
Uh-huh.
So, Largent.
I didn't put one Hall of Famer up there yet.
No. It's very actor-like of you to do. So I was going to go Largent.
Okay.
Tez.
Yeah.
Walter.
Oh, yeah.
And Easley, right? And easily, like, I don't think people understand how incredible, and this takes a lot for a Trojan to give love to a Bruin. Easily was one of the baddest dudes that ever played this game. I'm telling you, unbelievable. But the only reason, like, down the road, I could put someone possibly above him is when 54 hangs him up. When Bobby Wagner hangs him up, he's on the Mount Rushmore. And I don't care who anybody has on their Rushmore, he's got a place on there. So, and you, like I said, you changed my perspective. If I could replace any of them, it'd be tough. But Paul Allen.
Oh yeah, well,
Paul
Savior.
Allen,
savior of the team in the city.
not just savior, just everything rolls downhill. Like the energy, the good or bad, and I believe this for any organization, it rolls downhill. So it starts at the top at what you believe in. Who are you? Like you said, who are we what's in our identity? And everything that I've been grateful and gifted to be a part of started with Paul Allen.
When's the first time you met him?
When I got drafted.
Yeah.
And then we all came up and we went to a kind of like not like a draft party, but just like, hey, meet the free agents and the rookies. And just what a beautiful spirit, right? And he lives on through all of us and through the organization. And man, like, a lot of people remember his gifts in life on what he gave back in terms of, the tech and everything that they know, right?
Yeah.
But the spirit of that man and what he embodied and what he enabled, the reach, that lives on through all of the guys that played for him, that were drafted by him, that we're grateful to be associated with him. Like, forever grateful. Like, so, like, you want to talk about, like, probably the first, like I said, you changed my perspective. The first person I put up there, PA.
Yeah.
Pioneer,
you can't argue with
Pioneer.
that. I can't
Pioneer.
argue with that. Yeah. That's great. Josiah. Hey, he's back. He's still here. Who wins
Josiah.
best of 5 in a one-on-one versus with Big Walt or Michael Bennett? Then when they start fighting, who wins the fight? That's a good question.
All right, Josiah. Josiah, and like, I will screenshot this shit so you can believe it. Walter Jones wins that shit fucking 10 out of 10 times. Never mind 5 out of 5. Walter Jones, one of the baddest dudes I ever seen. Let me put it into perspective. When Walter left college at Florida State, which he only spent 6 months at, he came from JUCO, went to as a tight end, and went to Florida State. And the coach was like, if you play tackle, I promise you'll go top 10. Walter was like, well, shit, put me at tackle. Walter played 6 months at tackle, went 6 overall or whatever he went, right? And when he went to the combine or whatever, he did his pro day, 6'5", 305, 4.640. The fucking guy could have played tight end, middle linebacker, DN, D tackle, guard, probably center too. Like it just, he could have done anything he wanted and still been a Hall of Famer. That's the craziest shit that I could really like say. And I love Michael Bennett was a dog. We'll get into it later because I have some stories about Mike B where when he came to us as an undrafted free agent. And it's not stories about Mike B, it's stories in favor of Mike B.
We don't have to get into it later. Get into it now.
Okay. You sure? Okay. Well, yeah, Josiah is here. I want to make sure he listens and hears it. So Michael B, absolute savage. I don't know how Mike went undrafted, but then he comes up here. He just kicks major ass. And then they're like, oh, we're going to try to like cut him and like hide him. When a guy is balling in preseason, there's no hiding him. That film goes out to all other 31 teams. We played the Chargers, had to be 2008. I think that was Michael's rookie year. We had so many guys injured. Michael played nose, 3 tech, and D end. He had like a sack and a half, 3 or 4 tackles for a loss. He beat the shit out of guys that were starting for the Chargers. And I was like, yo, I don't know who the fuck this kid is, but we need to keep him. And they're like, well, I think we can, pass him through the waiver wire. I was like, yeah, okay. So we kept him for 3 or 4 weeks. And then I think we cut him to bring somebody up because there's, you have to drop somebody to bring somebody up. And Tampa Bay scooped him. He led them in sacks with like 5.5 or 6 in like half a season. And then just kept kicking ass like Michael always does. And then I think we got him 2012 or 13 for the Super Bowl year. And the rest is history. He made like 3 or 4 Pro Bowls, but he started here. And like, we didn't have to lose him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and I don't know what goes into all that. I don't know what factors play into it, contractually, like the money and everything. But it's like, okay, if this guy's beating the shit out of people, maybe we should keep him. I don't know. It's not rocket scientist, it's not rocket scientist. Like, I don't know. The guy's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That seems like a good formula. They're kicking ass every day.
He just beats people up. Like, let's keep him. Mm-hmm. Seems like a good dude to have on your side.
Yeah. Alina.
Alina. What we got, girl?
Lopa, you wanted some celebrity stories behind the scenes. It's your turn. Let's hear some Hawk stories, especially the funny ones. Anyone prank each other, etc. LOL. Alina, great question, because I've got some training camp questions on my notepad too. So let's start with this. Pranks, there had to be some good ones back in the day, especially.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell a story. All right, so my turn. The best prankster was probably Grant Wistrom.
Oh, yeah?
So we go to this golf tournament, and Grant, I see him, and he's all dressed up. He looks great, right? Looks awesome. And I was like, Grant, you golf? He's like, fuck no. No, I don't golf. And I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, to have a good time. And I was like, I already know what that means. And so he's partying. He's having a good time. But he brought a foghorn. And so every time he would just roll around. And every time someone went to tee off, he would just rip the foghorn. And the best part is someone texted me, I think it was like a year or two, or I played in a golf tournament with somebody a year or two ago, and they were like, hey, do you remember that golf tournament at Newcastle? And I was like, I have played a lot of golf tournaments at Newcastle. He was just like, the one where Grant ripped the air horn. I was like, oh, yeah, I actually remember that one. I think it was like 06. And he was like, yeah. I don't know. I think they might have lost, which is why the guy was upset. But I don't think the guy said anything because Grant, 6'5", 275. Like, what are you going to say? There's no mulligans, bro. Did you buy the mulligan package? No, I don't think so.
What's your feeling on mulligans in general?
What's my thought on
Do
them?
you allow a mulligan or two?
There's a breakfast
Yeah.
ball. All right.
Are they allowed and you're forced them?
No, if you didn't hit the range, I'm a competitor. If you didn't hit the range, right,
Uh-huh.
and this is your first shot of the day, then you get a breakfast ball. But if you hit the
Okay.
range, you're warmed up. No, I don't want to hear that bullshit.
Okay.
Hey, fucking play it as it lies. Hold up, though, Brett. No, you got to
That's the
answer
rule.
Alina's question. Give me some
Okay.
behind the scenes. Literally scenes. You're an actor.
Oh, there's all kinds of pranks on sets all the time. There was a scene one time we were doing for a show called Awkward that I was on. I was on a high school sitcom on MTV called Awkward, and we were doing a scene in a living room. There was a couch. I was supposed to just enter the scene, sit down on the couch. I entered. I sat down. There was a huge fart noise, but I had the line as I sat down, and I just kept going. I heard it. Everyone heard it. I didn't stop. I just kept going, and everyone's just like stifling laughter and cracking up laughing. And so I'm delivering my line, but then kind of look around and go like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "How did you not stop? Why? Like, you didn't hear that?" I go, "Of course I heard it, but I just thought it was someone behind me or something. I didn't want to like blow them up." And then they're like, "Look under the couch cushion." They put a whoopee cushion under the couch, so it was me sitting down that caused the noise. But I was such
They
a pro.
got
I
one
just
on
kept
you?
rolling. They got me on one, but they kind of not because I'm a pro, dude. I just kept going. I didn't want to put someone.
Hey, the show goes on.
Show goes on, man. I thought it could be one of the background actors. I don't want to blow anyone up, you know?
Everyone gets got.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get yours more than you get got, though.
Yeah. You'd come out to your car late at night and it'd be saran wrapped up. You gotta go.
Oh, wait, you guys had like real pranks like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Back in the day. I'm sure people are still doing stuff like that. Michael M. Not Money Mike. Michael Money? Maybe? Lofa, any memorable Paul Allen stories? That's one side of football that us fans rarely get to see, the owner side. I mean, I think a lot of us know some of the stuff, and I mean, he was big time. But peel back the curtain a little bit.
No, I feel like you guys are trying. I'm gonna pour some more tequila from my boy PA, and I feel like you guys are trying to make me cry right now. Paul was one of the most genuine human beings I ever met. There's not enough amazing things I could say about the guy that inspired. Like, you know, we're just, and like at the time, I'm a kid, man. I'm just playing football. But the life lessons and the giving back. And luckily, you know, I had a glimpse of it because my dad, when I was 7, would take me. The first ever thing I went to was Special Olympics. He was honorary chairman or on the board for Rhode Island Special Olympics. So I got an introduction to giving back. And my mom, and we would always do things. But when I got to Seattle, like Paul took it to a whole nother level. Like, just, this is who we are. This is you want to talk about identity, Brett? Like, as an organization.
Yeah.
He lived it. And so, like I said, it comes top down. Like, it's like just understood. Like, this is what we do. And the Seahawks do such an amazing job at it. Like, with their current players, with their former players, just in the community. Shouted out Mario Bailey, everybody, all the people that put in the work there that still invite me out to those things. But Paul, I can't even put words wouldn't do it justice. The impact. And I'm just trying to help, and all of us are, to keep his name going, and keep his spirit, alive. Because,
Yeah. No, it's all
I
good.
can't.
He's
Yeah.
a special human being. From everybody, from just what you hear on radio about him to former players and getting to meet former players such as yourself, and you guys all talk about him with such a high regard. I wish I could have met him at some point. Michael M has a follow-up question though. Says, speaking of Paul, has Jody carried on that same philosophy, or is she a bit different?
I've met Jody once in passing, just being at the facility. So I don't know Jody to speak on that. So I believe that, I mean, everything I see, the outreach, the community outreach, she is fulfilling the legacy of her brother and everything that he embodied, that she embodies, right? Like, this is family. So, like, yeah, she's doing the name proud. That's her name too, right? So, yeah, I do not know her on that level. Like I said, I don't even know Paul on that level, but I will say this, that one of the last times that I did go into the locker room, Paul was coming out and gave him a hug. And he's had so many players play for him that I don't even know if he recognized me, but I just gave him a hug and I said, I love you. And I just know that it meant the world to me. You know, that's all I could say. But he's a special human being, man. Like, the heart, like, over $1 billion in philanthropy, like over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and Jody's keeping it going with the Hawks and everything. So the utmost respect for everything he's accomplished and done,
Yeah.
but like the lives he's reached. And I think, like, if, life is short. If we take anything from it, it's, do we have an impact? Paula and Jody, they got serious impact. That's all I could say.
Yeah. Do they still have the plane?
What's up?
Is it the same plane? Are they still flying around on the cool plane? The 757, the Paul Allen
Oh, I'm
jet?
sure they got a lot of great planes. Like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
But
sure.
you guys were kind of the first to fly on that cool plane. We've talked about the plane before.
Oh,
but
man. When I
how
first got
cool
up
was the
here,
plane? Yeah.
like, and that's what a lot of guys, when they come here and they're like, wow, this is what it's like, right? Like, they finally feel like they reached pro level.
Yeah.
And this is no disrespect on any other organization, but a lot of guys that come here for the first time, they're just like, holy shit. Like, and then they buy in because they're just actually respected. They're appreciated. Like I said, it rolls downhill. Paul set a precedent. Like, this is how we handle business. Like, this, we're all family, right? And so it just, even, it doesn't matter how much you get paid, it just sends a different message to your brainwave. Like, I'm gonna do whatever I can for this family. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and every competitor still has that in their mind. But when they get treated, I don't want to say disrespectfully, but just when they get treated differently, it's like, okay, like, they don't really care about me. So let me ball out and then go play for somebody else, right? Like, and I've heard it from other teammates and other friends that have been in other organizations. There ain't no place like Seattle. That's what I try to tell all these kids that are, respectfully, kids, because I'm old as fuck. But these kids that get drafted in here, I'm like, yo, don't take this shit for granted. It's not like this everywhere else. Like, you just another number everywhere else. That's the truth.
If you're old, then I'm old. So don't say that.
Yeah, we old. At least you look young.
Josiah, 4th and goal on the line. You have to stop a man from scoring. Who you have to line up against prime MVP Sean Alexander or beast mode, who is Lofa? Stuff it. Or who is mushing Lofa losing to? Eyeball emojis. Rather go up against Sean, the only MVP for the franchise, or Marshawn?
I kill both those motherfuckers.
Next
Mic
question.
drop. Nah.
Yep.
I mean shit. Like, nah, I don't. I'm going in, Josiah. Check tape, motherfucker. I'm going in, brother. I'm going in. So it don't matter who's back there. But I'd rather not Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson hit me. So I would pick Marshawn, even though it is going to be a more violent collision. But I don't have 2 Hall of Famers smoking me.
What's it like going against those guys every day in practice?
Fucking hell. Like, straight up.
Yeah.
They had me
I can't even imagine.
They had me questioning my decision to leave college early. Like, I'm a 2nd round pick, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, finally. Like, the Seahawks recognize I can play. They get into camp, and these guys, all of them. So it was not just Walt, Hall of Fame, not just Hutch, Hall of Fame, Robbie Tobeck, Pro Bowler, Chris Gray should have been a Pro Bowler, Sean Locklear should have been a Pro Bowler. They were all kicking the shit out of me, and I was just like, fuck. Did I make a mistake? Should I have stayed in college one more year? But then I got to the regular season and nobody was like as good as them. And I was like, oh, this is easy. I guess these guys are pretty fucking good. I'm telling you, it crazy.
That's great. That's great. I mean, when you're going against your own team and it's hard, it means you got a special thing going on. And
exactly right.
It was like that for a long time for our offense, I think, going against the defense. And it looks like that might be that way again, sort of a bit, with what they got going on there. But those are good signs.
Shit. No, Brett, I'm telling you, it was hell. It was okay. But this is also what I try to tell kids. I'm like, okay, look, if you're doing what you love, you can't be wrong. Right? So even though everybody told me I would never play in the NFL, wasn't good enough, too slow, too small, whatever, all that bullshit, I kept looking at the film. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm fucking people up out here. And I just believed, right? I was just like, yo, I can do this. And I had one opportunity. And from there, I ran with it. But a lot of, that's all I think the one thing I wish to all kids is the courage to just keep believing. Like, if this is what you love, you're not wrong. You'll make it. That's the one thing I want to impart to them is you got this. Mm-hmm. You love it. You can't be wrong. But if you're good at something and you don't love it, I was good at baseball. I fucking hated it. Hated going to practice. Hated all that bullshit. Right? So all I'm saying, that's all I'm trying to impart to the youth when I go to talk. When I get the chance to talk to them, just follow your passion, right?
You said the youth, so we are old.
The 2 youths? What movie?
We're officially old.
What movie? All
the
right,
2 youths?
I don't know how many people are here with us still. I love you if you are, but
I don't know either. I don't even know how to read this thing.
No, but we're going to do a giveaway. Michael, we'll end it on this note because we're coming up on 2 hours, and I'm sorry for wasting your time, Michael, because you're a great producer.
Never
No,
apologize.
not your time, Brett. I'm talking about Michael. So if you can, in the comments, if you can, 2 Utes, you name that movie, we're going to send you something.
Oh, wow. All right.
And it's
There you go.
hilarious that Brett doesn't even know the movie.
You have the movie quotes on lock. I don't know. I have some, but I don't have all of them. You have like you were talking about memorizing stuff earlier. You have all the lines.
Alina got it. Oh, wait. No, Italian Night got
It's
it
Italian
before
Night
Alina.
78. Yeah.
Oh, Alina.
Slightly faster.
I'm still going to send you something, but Italian Night got you by 1 minute.
Very close.
I'm still going to send Alina something, though. Alina, tell me what you want. Signed, anything. I'll send you this fucking signed jersey. I'll get it signed by Sean Kemp and then send it to you if you want.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a buddy of mine.
Hey, I'm going to put a picture out. I met him last weekend, all right? Him and I are now friends also. Friend
That's
of mine.
cool. I smoke joints with him.
Oh.
All I'm going to say, I love all you, but Josiah, Alina, y'all fam, and I'm going to hit y'all up. We're going to hang. We're going to party.
You guys check the chat there. Send an email to Michael there for the contest. And thank you all for listening tonight. You guys are amazing. We're growing this family one game at a time, one podcast at a time. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and then, of course, tell all of your friends where you can find the most fun and informative, educational, and enlightening, entertaining Seahawks chat after every single Seahawks game. It's right here on the All Day Podcast. Everybody. Lofa? Or no, that was it for us.
All
I think
day,
he
every
hit
day.
the theme song. Did
Love
he hit
ya.
it?